be starting this fly with a UTC 70 thread in a tan color. Now I'm just going to start building up a base on the hook itself. And with this Steelhead upturned eye number 6 hook that I'm using, it does have a bend from the hook eye. So I'm just going to build up a base around there so I don't catch the thread later and snap my thread. Now what I want to do is build a base all the way to about the hook point. And again, always be careful not to catch your thread on the hook point itself. Now for the tail, I will be using some brown marabou. And what you want to do here is about you want to have the tail about the same size as the length of the hook. So I'm just going to cut off a piece here. Give it a good quick measure. Now a couple of loose turns to start, and then what you want to do is position this tail precisely on the top, and then you want to tighten it down with the thread on the cut ends. Now I wouldn't worry too much about having the big bulky cut ends raised up. We will be using some dubbing later and covering that, so don't worry too much about it. Now I'm just going to add some golden crystal flash, a couple of strands to the tail, one on each side. And you want it pretty well positioned laterally from the hook shank back. So once you have those crystal flashes positioned, just snip off the ends. A couple more wraps to secure it. Once we have that secured, what we want to do is grab some nice pheasant tail color ice dub. It's a great complement to the brown marabou tail and the crystal flash. It has some great sparkle on it. So you just want to run this dubbing up the thread. Don't worry too much about being that precise as far as the thickness goes, because you want this bugger kind of bulky and messy on the body. A couple of turns there, adding some more ice dub. You want to wrap that up and get it about a hook eye from the end. A little bit more. And just about there. That looks good. Now you can, trim some longer pieces out if they're hanging out a little bit too long. It really doesn't matter, it's up to you. I just like to have it a little bit more cleaner. And now for the hackle, we're going to grab some badger hackle, and great color on this. I found this great cape, and it has some beautiful black colors once you open it up and again, pull the hackle back. Now, of course, just getting rid of some of the barbs on the bottom, pinching that down, and now tying in the hackle. Give it a good 4 or 5 turns, maybe a couple in the front to secure it. And then, of course, with the thread now, what we're going to do is wind it back to the start of the tail. And of course, with the hackle, this will also secure the dubbing in place. Grab your hackle pliers, and always have a good couple of turns on the front, and then start winding it back. Now, what you want to do is, you want to have the spread evenly. So take your time, making sure that each turn is the same distance away from the other as much as you can. Sometimes you're going to run out, so you have to just adjust the hackle pliers, grabbing the tip. And just getting it to the back, and just making it with this one. Now secure it with your thread. Now, winding your thread back up to the eye, make sure you wiggle your thread back and forth as you wind it back up so you don't catch any barbules in there from the hackle. And just grab your bobby and then try to take them out. Winding it right to the beginning, and just grabbing the hackle there as much as you can. Give it a couple turns in front to secure it. And what we're going to do here now is clip the back, of course, the excess that was hanging down with your hackle pliers. Just clip that out of the way. Now I'm just going to do a couple of turns on the whip finish here. It is not done yet. We are actually going to change thread and switch to a color red for the head. Now, the reason we didn't use a red to start or anything like that is because we didn't want once we wind the thread back after we tie in the hackle, we didn't want that red ribbing going back. So we're just going to tie it in the front here. Just getting rid of some of the hackle that's in my way. And now what we're going to do is basically you're just going to pull back the hackle and just create a nice head. And as far as thickness goes, it's all up to you. Basically what we're doing here is we're creating some sort of hot spot on the head. Steelhead really like this. Regular rainbows and browns too, residents. So now just finish it off with a 6-turn whip finish. And you can now you can use some head cement to finish her off. It's all up to you. I like to use some UV clear finish on the head. So what you want to do is, try to get as much of the excess barbs and whatnot out of the way, and grab some UV clear finish. And I do it a little bit differently than most people. You need the flashlight for sure. But what you'll see here coming up is you can actually, take your time, use the attachments that you have with UV that comes with the bottle. I use a Loon UV clear finish, ultraviolet. So you need ultraviolet light. And what you want to do is take your time, and a little bit at a time, and what you want to do is just hit it with the ultraviolet light for a quick second, and what that'll do is it'll just set it. It'll just do a quick set, so you don't have to worry about spending the 15 seconds on each spot that you do right now. Just do it for a few seconds, and what that does now is it sets it, and now you can move. It's not going to run on you. It's hard enough, nothing's going to stick to it right now. So go around the fly and just a couple of a little bit of dab of the UV finish. Hitting it with the light for a second. And again, you can use just regular head cement, that's fine. This is what I do on my flies, most of them. Just gives a neater finish to it. But again, it's all up to the individual.